I will use those two on the board just as a fill-in, like a stand-in. And I'm not too unhappy. I'm not too unhappy. Okay, upgrade a bronze item. So that is also the easiest pick in my life. It's the beta ray. That will be on the board forever. And then we're putting those two on the board. That's still a very decent board, right? Don't want to complain. Is there a level when silver skills start showing up? I mean, that was a specific Pip vendor. Like the person is called Pip, I think. And it says specifically it's only bronze tier skills. So there cannot be silver tier skills because it's like the same way as Sterling can only be silver items, and this one can only be bronze tier skills. Generally, I don't know, skill vendors are differently than the normal vendor shops in the rarity stuff. So it's not that easy to say. I would say latest day 2 you can get silver. Maybe even day 1 actually. I don't know. And you can also at day 3 already get at some skill vendors at least. I don't know for all gold. Like for the haste skill vendor you get gold skills on day 3 already. For the Nufu, I think it's more like day 5 still. Like Nufu applies the normal rules, but Zara is not. Anyway, oh, I cannot buy this. I really want to do this, so look away. Upgrade on the LEDs is gone. I take the good monster loot here. Yeah, that was a good decision. I will... Do I want to go here shopping for the soldering gun? Nah, we are more in the 5 region territory here. And then we still can take out a Hydra dude, so we should probably do this. Well, we don't need to use the feather. We can just take out the Hydra dude anyway. I mean, the next big patch is either end of this week or start of next week, probably. I don't think it's announced yet. I don't know. Maybe I should check the Discord and Reddit, but it should be announced in the next few days, and then we know for certain. Upgrade my array. Okay, we are upgrading our array. I mean, haste, slow, and cooldown items is just an amazing pool, right? I like it a lot, and now you can see why I like it a lot. This is never getting used. Okay, goodbye granola bars. And then we definitely, I mean, this cannot drop, right? So it's only, and this also not, so only the good items. Yeah, B1, B2. And I don't want to greed on the feather, to be honest. That seems ill-advised. I mean, sure, that opponent did not win, but greeding on feathers, I mean, if you have enough good targets for it, feels ill-advised, because if you have a close fight ever, you will regret it for sure. So, yeah, we are around 7 hours into the stream. I still enjoy the game. I will probably play quite a lot still on this account now. But I feel a little bit exhausted because I'm struggling sometimes finding words at the moment. It's like starting to get hard to speak English again. This is a good item. I don't like those. And yeah, though we are... Slow items is pretty good pool, right? It has Aegis, LEDs, duct tape in it. Though tools is also kind of a small pool, so you can start fishing for the soldering gun. Or soldering gun. I mean, this can also be a plasma grenade. I like fishing for the soldering gun. I don't like the battery. It's an easy right fight there. Gorgon Noble is good. That trigger is... Okay, anyway. Probably 3 loot items over poison extract here. Yeah, easily. It's the 3 loot items. This is never getting used. This is instantly sold, so I'm not skipping a level up. And we can hold on a little bit on the wing here. Small burn item is a good pull. But we're also rich enough to justify go shopping. So there's not too much that we actually can get to improve, except of maybe LEDs and obviously small burn items. So I'm inclined to say this is a solid pool. We are so taking a risk here. We're strong enough to justify that. No, English is not my native language. I'm German by native language and have also lived only in Germany, like at least resided there. I have traveled a lot in my 20s, but yeah. You are doing great. Glad to see you streaming. Hope all is well. Yeah, thank you, Night Gamer. You won against my ghost from day 3. Happy to hear. The name of the song, yeah, sure. It's Primavera from Einaudi, and it's on one of the older albums of Einaudi. I don't know which album it is. It's Primavera. And if it was another song, it's just one track earlier on the same album. Okay, we will never use those two. We are also not greeting on the feather here. We don't have use for the gunpowder or the old sword. And mean that opponent only lost day 1. So that means in most cases, in my book, there are more likely lizard enjoyers that had like a lizard and then only lost day 1. We have a golden ray though. We're proccing fast. We have decent health. We have a little bit of regen to compensate for the early damage. I would say we should win most fights, but what do I know? I was correct about the lizard enjoyers. That is an interesting build though, in general, because there are like not a lot of friends there. And now, yes, we tied. Okay, all good. I mean, he has like a heavy machinery, which is like an absolute premium skill. I don't understand why he has so many, I don't know, non-friends items there. Like, his build would have been a lot better if he had like items that do something, because it does not really matter for him if he uses a GPU as a haste source. He has a companion core that hasting your friends, and then you benefit a lot more of having a lot of friends and not GPUs on your board in alpha race. Anyway, he was kind to us. If he set it up differently, we would have lost there. That was still a very, very strong lizard setup, and especially in the mid-game, lizards that have a decent scaling are very, very scary, and probably one of the most feared opponents, unless you have like yourself a lot of haste, and then you can raise them a little bit faster. I will upgrade here my beta ray over the health though. It's by far the best target since we already upgraded the Omega Ray. Freezing like 1 second longer on the ray is impactful. I will buy the chocolate here for sure. That was a close fight. Also, I have now the money, so that is happening. Also, with the PvE fight here and then the next PvE fight, we should be 1 more level ahead of the curve now. That is also helping us quite a lot. He had ignition core? Really? Did I I feel like, oh, he had an ignition core. Man, I was wrong there. I thought I saw an companion core. Okay, it's getting late. Anyway, we won. We won. All good. Nothing to worry. We are fighting this guy a second time. Like, not only does he have like a by far the most XP here, like the Cinder as well as this skill are rather good drops in my book, and 50 gold is also a huge drop because then you will never ever hopefully struggle with gold this run. So that is an early gold relief, good skill. Also the Cinder is like a huge power increase, right? Like 4 burn on your core that is something. It has to be the CD reduction here. That is also easy pick. There's my Sarah, so give me one of the good skills in return here. And those are not the good skills we bricked. I don't like this skill too much. It's just one haste every here and there. It's okay-ish, but then I rather take the freeze. It's slow items and slow enchanted items. There are golden LEDs. I would say they are a huge improvement on our board here, right? Now we have the trinity of rays, the good ones. We have golden. We have golden LEDs and a little bit of burn. A nice source of shield now. With like 34, it's meaningful. At least 1 freeze and 17 burn on the core. I would say that is good. Also, we found the LEDs right in time for this Pygmalion, who has not lost. So that is a heavy-hitting Regal Blade, I don't know, Crook Enjoyer. I can tell you that. Heavy Regal Blade, Crook Enjoyer. I knew what was it. I knew what he was. Before I even saw it. He did not lose. That means he has this setup. And without the LEDs, this fight would have looked probably rather dire. Is the freeze ray better next to the duct tape instead of the lighter? Yeah, it's closer. It's very small closer, but it is closer. You're probably correct there. Like if I don't have the gamma ray, it's probably less closer, and then this is faster, earlier, and more consistent. But since I have a gamma ray, you are correct there. Good call. So I will go probably for the small weapon over the gumballs, yeah. It's day 7, it's always loot items here. Crit is going on the core. The shield is going on the duct tape. This is getting sold. And we are fighting a Radiant Corsair because we have only seen this skill twice this run, today on this new account, and I feel like 3 times is a charm, right? 3 times is a charm, I'm telling you. So I think at this point the katana is not better. We have high enough quality on the board. Yeah, but I once did not consider it thoroughly. Okay, there is a free skill for slow. That is pretty good. Those are burn enchanted items, so we are gonna look at those. Free bomb squad. And Fury Coolant, that is golden. I mean, that has to be worked in this build, right? We are gonna buy both. So do we want to upgrade the core, or do we want to get scrap shields? This is like 3-ish on the core, and this is a lot of shield. Yeah, it's a lot of shield. And then what's out? Like probably this is already better because this is getting twice the scaling, right? And then this is like so much freeze and also burn. So this has to be better than this, right? And now the question is if I want to have a gamma ray over a lighter, and the answer is probably not. And then also I want to have the lighter again here because now I'm rather certain the beta ray is not faster. Yeah, sounds reasonable. All of those. I mean, loot is tending to get lost sometimes, so there are multiple reasons why you don't get a loot. That's like a little bit weird in the moment. Yeah, okay. I feel like both of those seem to be the correct calls here. I didn't have like a poison freeze skill, right? It was haste and slow. Yes, okay. Yeah. Okay, core got frozen. Not the best start, but I would go poison ray over duct tape. No, no, no. You don't lose to poison with coolant. You are also wrong about that, my friend. Like, I feel like fights are not as long as you think they are. Okay, I heard that a lot. So the coolant, okay, I like that it cleans half my burn, and this is like a nice side effect. But the main effect of a coolant is the freeze, and this is why it's good. If that thing would say only cleanse half your burn at the same speed, especially, it's not a good item. It's a very, very slow item at 6 seconds in general. And if you cleanse after 6 seconds, sure, you reduce your burn by 100 because maybe you have only 200 burn on your at that point, right? Like that, let's assume that. That is probably good. And 100 burn less is super. But in the next 6 seconds, he has like a lot of burn scaling on his board and then therefore a lot more burn output. So then you have like 500-600 burn. And then you may cleanse and you relieve a little bit pressure. But this is like very little bit of relief of pressure because he is like instantly having the 250 burn like 1 second later on you. So the cleansing, while it's doing a little bit of work, it's also a very, very little bit of relief only on the pressure. So we could analyze this, but you can believe me on that. So I would wager the duct tape is probably putting in at least the same amount of work, if not even more, as well as the reducing damage. Like let's say we are facing a poison lizard gamer, right? He might have a race call. He's maybe a race call enjoyer, and those are quite a lot around. That is also a lot of damage that I get on top of the poison damage. And then my duct tape, for example, is helping me to alleviate that damage and therefore buying me maybe 1 more tick or 2 more ticks of time. So I will never ever consider taking out the duct tape. That is not happening. Okay, this is probably by far the best one. Extra burn scaling, the rest isn't doing his shit. That was not a correct wording. They were not doing a lot. We get nice monster skills here. So this is 15 flat damage. This is 40% shield. That is a lot. I like this a lot. And this is not doing a lot. So for me, it's easy. It's hard shell. I don't need the 15% of damage because if my opponent is like at 15% of health and not dead because I didn't use the skill, he's dead anyway because at that point he has so much burn on him, he's dead. It's not mattering, right? Like if you look at the fight when my opponent is at 15, he's at 0 technically. It's the same amount of health in my book. So hard shell is kind of the easiest pick there. And we can fight both. This is anti-freeze. This is just more gold and 1 more XP, but gold-wise we are good this run. And XP-wise, we are leveling up anyway, so let's try to get the anti-freeze. So we have still like 4 more fights ahead, so temp boost is not like needed. So we can also go for upgrades at Kina here. Money-wise, also like no issue at all. I still buy the upgrade on the Gamma Ray though. It's no biggie. Is it ever chocolate over small items? I would say it is. It is super easily. We are very, very strong, and buying ourselves just a little bit more time in case that's a close match is probably exactly how I want to do this, especially against a poison opponent. Those 500 extra health in total will matter. Here though, it's also kind of easy. We upgrade the Ray. We didn't find any other better targets. We have decent scaling. We have a little bit of freeze. We have golden LEDs. We have like freeze on the coolant. We have a Fury Bomb Squad that is, I don't know, getting like 3 times the, like not 3 times, but he gets like burned from the race, right? And then he gets burned here, and he's doubling all the damage there. So that is like already, yeah. The fight is over before it started. I mean, that was a weak opponent, don't get me wrong there, but yeah. Okay, I will take the shield skills here though. It's the charge one. I don't need the spare change necessarily, and I don't need medium items in most cases, so I take the temp boost here. I take the strongest fight here. Why is squad better than the third ray here? I mean, that's a Fury squad, right? If that was not a Fury squad, I might just consider this, but this is getting double the scaling, if you can see this. Like, this is at 90, at 100 poison. And while, like, the Ray is obviously scaling my other items here a little bit. I mean, 1, 2, 3. So probably it's more why is lighter in, okay? So if ever, the lighter is just a little bit faster, but it's getting half the scaling of the bomb squad, right? The bomb squad is effectively 3.8-ish, and this is 2.8-ish, and this gets straight up double the amount of scaling. So the question is not about the bomb squad, it's probably more about the lighter, right? And they are kind of also like, it's not 5 seconds, right? Because we get return of the beta ray, and then we get procs on scaling on those two. And my answer is I want to be faster, because this is making me just proc a little bit faster and everything going earlier, while this is better in the long run for the scaling, maybe. I would say it's a very close thing, right? You could do it like this. You think I need more Frost Ray procs? So is it ever cinders or scraps here? It's probably the scrap again. I like to be a defensive person. And there are haste skills, and I consider a little bit more thoroughly the thought about changing. So this is a perma-hasted core. That's definitely better than an upgrade on the electrified hull, because this is only 5 seconds of charge, and this is a lot more charge in form of haste on the core as well. It's not charging something, it's charging the core, so that's an easy pick. And then we go for Curio here, because we can get a lot of good stuff in Curio. And I will consider the Gamma Ray in just a second again when we see our opponent. Okay, that is I would say that is a fair thing. Let's get laughing. Okay. So you're saying, so the argument now is to say, well, like obviously it's not, it's a lighter over the Fury thing, Fury bomb squad that it's out. So you're saying, well, the gamma ray has another like nice side effect, and it's not that it's only scaling, but it also means I charge every 5 seconds for 2 seconds my beta ray. And that is why I want to run a gamma ray over the lighter here. That is the consistency argument. I can see that against the dually. I can see that. That's a good argument. I like that argument. That's and then it's also the beta ray on the duct tape here, and then the lighter is out because we want to have a Fury coolant because of the freeze. Then freezing cores and stuff is pretty good. And since it's Fury and cleansing and stuff, we like this a lot. And this is just straight up better because it's getting driving the scaling. Okay, I will stick to my duct tape though. I'm a duct tape enjoyer. Okay, I can see that. Let's look at the fight. I wanna have an idea here. Okay. I like this. Yeah, you are correct. Probably, Fima, you are correct there. There you go. That was a good thought. Lighters faster haste for core now. I mean, as soon as we're starting our chain, like we have like full haste, right? And the Aiden is also kind of close at least. It's like 4 seconds, not 3 seconds. That's a little bit more. But I see the merit against a dually, okay? Like against a non-dually, I would still take out the gamma ray, okay? Because against Vanessa and Pygmalion, I don't need the extra proc of the beta ray necessarily. But against the dually, that is probably actually stronger. So I acknowledge that. I would say that is the fair compromise. Here though, we just making sure we're not freezing too much against the enforcer. Sashi Balchev. Yeah, I agree about that. I hope my community stays this way. Probably when the open beta starts, at that point I should have a decent amount of moderators to make sure we sort a little bit against people that don't have this mindset and are not constructive and hateful and trolling and that stuff. But I feel like in general so far, I tend to get the people that have the same mindset, or at least enjoy my mindset, and a few people that share the constructive thing here. Also, you can see like Fima had like a very good thought. I liked it. It was very well reasoned.